Organizing your song and arranging it is the most important part of the process, because you want people to have fun listening to your song and you want to keep things going very smoothly. So let's listen to our different parts again. Okay, that is like the main part that I will put later. Then you have a quiet part like this. And then the bridge that we were working on. Now, keep in mind that there is no mastering applied to what you're listening, so it might sound funny or a bit out of tune or wrong right now, but with a few tips on the mastering, we're actually going to improve everything and bring it to the whole professional level that you're looking for. I'm gonna make my structure. This part, I wanna put it like here. This part, the part with less variation, I'm gonna start with it. Okay. And of course my main part, I'm gonna put it again at the end. I'm not even sure which one it is. Yeah, it's there. It's already at the end. So here we have 40 seconds of music approximately. And by just copy pasting it and creating a few variations, you get your 3 distinct parts in a song, you know, chorus, bridge, and so here we go, 2 minutes. Let's add it a few more time. 2 minutes 45. 3 minutes 30. Okay. Here, as you can see, things are getting a bit more complex. And this is a good sign. You're looking for complexity. When you're reaching complexity, your song is greatly improving in sound and quality. So when do you know when your song is finished and ready to be mastered? Well, usually when you start to have too many things happening in a song and you don't really know what goes with what, you know, here I have to listen to this to actually know what it is. When you reach that level, you're pretty close to be done to send your mix for the mastering, okay? So now that we are done with our structure, we're gonna do just a few tweaks to make sure it's different. So you start removing elements to make sure people cannot see patterns in your songs. You want to keep it new and innovative. Now you know you have different parts in your song and they might not blend perfectly together. And the best way to fix that is simply to create one last instrument that will be really present in the song, and that instrument is gonna just link everything together because you will use it not during the parts but between the parts. So here I have a synthesizer that I really like. I will choose something like polyphonic. Yeah, you want to hear it well, like this. And let's record right away. So, let's record. When you look at... So here is our first part. There is no need to do anything here. And here... Okay, that's one part. Another part here. Another part is coming here, recording. I don't like what I recorded here, so let's just do it right away. Make sure it sounds good, very important. Much cooler. I'm even gonna use that couple of times. Here. And maybe the last one we put this one that people don't remember. Good. Okay, now you have really almost everything. Basically, you could stop here and go do the mastering. Your song is gonna sound very cool, but people might say, well, your sound is good, but I've heard a lot of songs like that. And where is your signature? Where is your personality in that? You know, this is really... That's the problem. A lot of musicians are always asking me, how do you make your sound so personal? What is the trick? Well, the trick is to have your own signature by choosing a sound that has a meaning for you. People hear it as soon as they hear the first notes of the song. They hear your signature, they know, oh, I know this guy. I usually use 60-bit samples for my signature. I go in my library. You want something a bit weird, because you want to make sure the ear is gonna catch it. So don't go for a general signature like a, you know, you're looking for something original. See, this is a bad example of signature. And this is good. This is some kind of radio sample effect. So I'm just gonna put a sampler. Okay. I'm gonna drag my sample in it. As you can see, I can play it on the keyboard at different pitch. I like this pitch. So let's record, and from time to time I make sure that my signature is present in the song, okay? Of course you want to start with it. Good. One signature. It's good to put the signature when there is less instrument playing, so people pay more attention to it. Also a good moment to put the signature. Okay, so here is my signature track. And you can duplicate it. Here it doesn't matter if it makes a pattern, because patterns are good for tricking your brain into remembering what they just heard. So there you go. Signature, signature, like this. And it finishes. Perfect. So now we are ready to go to the mastering. The mastering is where you're gonna bring your song to a whole new level of details and perfection. And if you've done everything I showed you so far with your own music ideas, and you are at this part where you're ready to start working on the mastering, well, pay attention. So let's move on to the last part. Now we're ready to do the mastering. And I'm gonna ask you to pay very close attention to what I'm doing, because this is not easy to understand sometimes. So how does this work? The first thing you always do is to put a compressor in the master. No matter what you're gonna do later, you need a compressor in the master. So I'm dragging a compressor here in the master. I'm gonna set my compressor in a specific way, so it's gonna do a couple of things. So I put the threshold at around -17.5. The ratio, I put it all the way up. Attack in like that, and release maybe 7 milliseconds. And the output at least 5 decibels. Now what I just did is gonna do a few things in my song. It's gonna boost the whole volume up. It's also going to bring down the less interesting parts of my song and enhance the good leads and voices, the vocals, okay? Now every good mastering needs a reverb, of course. The reverb is going to balance everything, make things more smooth from one idea to another one. The reverb needs to be really subtle, but at the same time you need to hear that transition that is really smooth. So here I set my reverb to no more than 60%, the dry wet. Now that we added the reverb, you want to kind of do the opposite to make sure your sound is not going to be too mellow and, you know. So one thing to do that is to add what's called bit reduction. It's going to add more aggressive frequencies basically. So you can put this song in 8-bit. And you can also downsample a little bit. Put it on soft, because this is the mastering and you're doing subtle stuff. So we can listen to this for a second. It might be too loud, but I will adjust the volumes in the second part. So we're gonna do a few adjustments on the lyrics. That is not loud enough. The drum was okay, the bass maybe less loud, like this. And yeah, don't forget about the panoramics. The more you pan everything, and the more clearer is your result. So just hard pan things, left, right. So you don't get too much stuff in the middle. See? We just opened completely the sound. You're done with your song, you're done with your mastering, you want to export your track. Well, don't export it like that. You have one last thing to do. And that is my best trick for you guys. You're gonna actually divide the BPM at approximately half. Now you can export your track. What it's gonna do is it's gonna process all the effects with a lot of more time. So everything is gonna have a very high resolution because the BPM is very slow now. After you're done bouncing your track, you're just gonna bring it back to the original BPM, and there you're gonna have an amazing clarity in your song. So I'm going to bounce my track. I'm gonna do that trick, lower the BPM and then put the BPM back to the original. And I will post the song on my website so you can check it out. And I hope you like this tutorial. There you go. A whole song from the beginning to the end. So this is the end of my tutorial. I hope you learned a lot. I know some technical parts were kind of hard to understand on the first time. Maybe you watched the video a couple of times and practice that. But you pretty much have the whole package to make a professional song from the beginning to the end. You don't even need a sound engineer anymore because you know all those tricks that are kept so secret from those guys. So here we go. I hope you had a good learning time and see you soon.